Who had the biggest fall from grace in history? Most people are talking like the last decade. But Mary I of England came to my mind first. Overcame huge threats and obstacles to her right to the throne. Because she had the support and love of the people. She defeated the attempted coup, ascended to the throne, showed mercy to the traitors, etc. Then promptly married an unpopular foreigner and tried to force everyone to follow her religion. If they didn't, they got burned alive. Then hubby skipped town anyway. And Mary slowly lost her marbles and Calais, and kept burning people alive. History tends to remember her younger half-sister Elizabeth I a bit more favorably. Edit. OMG, what have I done? My friends. Tudor history is awesome. And dramatic. And insane. And fucking tragic. Go check it out. 100 years of more drama than you can imagine. For those saying Elizabeth killed more for religion than Mary did. Here's someone who did some quick and dirty math. https allthings.wordpress.com/2019/02/21/did-good-queen-best-kill-more-people-for-religion-t. Han Bloody Mary. Also, Mary did all her executions over the space of her 5-year reign. Elizabeth I reigned for *45** years and still managed to execute fewer people. I am still sympathetic to Mary I. Her life fucking sucked for about 1,000 reasons. Philippe Pétain was a national hero of France after World War I. He won the 9-month Battle of Verdun as a general and inspired hope and optimism at a time when it seemed like the war would never end. Fast forward to World War II and he became the head of state of Vichy France and was a puppet for the Nazis. He ran Vichy state in a semi-fascist manner and constantly sought to appease the Nazis to preserve Vichy's limited freedoms, including signing anti-Semitic ordinances and allowing deportation to concentration camps. At the end of the war, he was convicted of treason on all counts and originally sentenced to death before being reduced to life imprisonment by Charles de Gaulle on account of Pétain's advanced age and service during World War I. De Gaulle would later summarize Pétain's life as successively banal, then glorious, then deplorable, but never mediocre, and also, the Marshal is a great man who died in 1925. The trouble is, he didn't know it. Jimmy Savile, mega famous UK radio DJ and TV presenter, did a ton of charity work, was a knight of the realm. Post-death, he was revealed to be a massive pedophile, protected and ignored by those around him for decades. Edit. Savile not Seville. Ian Watkins, former singer of the Welsh emo rock band Lost Prophets, massively successful band in the scene. Turns out he dealt meth to fans to abuse them and then rape their babies, toddlers. Yes, you read right. I almost threw up when I read the indictment. Locked away for life. That one. The band has erased all music from all services as far as possible. It's tainted forever. I'm sure there are worse people. But Harvey Weinstein went from being one of the most powerful people in the world to be completely reviled and losing everything. This is the guy who had Meryl Streep and Oprah on speed dial and married to a woman 1000x too attractive for him. He now uses a walker, has lost his fortune and his reputation, and his dick is literally rotting off. In case you didn't know, several of the women who accused him of sexual misconduct all pointed out that he wasn't really interested in sex, per se. He just wanted massages. According to some, his hygiene was so poor he developed an infection in his dick, which then rotted the flesh after being left untreated. He basically got gangrene on his genitals and was effectively impotent. Benedict Arnold, hero general of the American Revolution, one of George Washington's best assets, felt slighted and overlooked by his contemporaries. switched sides to the British, made no difference to the war effort, died in disgrace in England. His name is now a synonym for traitor. Edit. Since this is getting some attention, for anyone interested in learning more about the man, I highly recommend watching Benedict Arnold, A Question of Honor, a TV movie from 2003, starring Aidan Quinn as Arnold and Kelsey Grammer as Washington. Who are you getting really fucking tired of hearing about? I don't know about person, but hearing the word influencer every 10 seconds has been taking its toll on me. My cat complaining about the state of her food bowl. It's full, cat. Leave me alone. I'm deaf, so nothing. Celebrity drama on Twitter. I do not care about a single one of them. My best friend's ex. Nick Cannon. People who reverend up their vehicles loudly. What do you enjoy about it? The vibrations on my ass make me ejaculate. It's for your inner caveman. But if you do it in a crowded area or where people are trying to have conversations, then you're just a douche. South Park Season 13 Episode 12. I have to or my piece of shit will overheat. Sorry. I don't personally own a vehicle that can be revved loudly, but I have gotten the chance to use one. It's the power. That feeling of power that comes from a well-tuned engine in the form of vibrations and sound. The extra dopamine hit if you're the one who got it working so well. And the knowledge that you're in control of it. It's awesome. That said, that doesn't excuse those people who would stop at the top of a hill, where my house was, and reverend their engines real loud before taking off down the suburban road over and over again at 3 in the fucking morning for most of my childhood. The _STUTUTUTUTU_. People in the USA who still display a Confederate flag, why? This is Reddit. No one who flies a Confederate flag is going to answer you here. Came here to see comments from 100 people who do not display a Confederate flag and was not disappointed. My friend once went on a date with a dude who had a Confederate flag at his house and she got really offended over it. After the date she asked him why he had that flag. He is British. It was a British flag. I no longer do. As a kid I did because of the Dukes of Hazzard. Even in high school it was a thing. And you'd as likely see a black guy driving a truck with a Confederate flag. Also, I can speak to this as someone who not only used to proudly display the flag, but also has a tattoo of it. I grew up in the South and was always led to believe that it was a symbol of heritage. I look back now and can see the undercurrent of racism that went along with it. The line was always, heritage not hate, but most of the people spewing it were closet racists. Most of them still are. As a white male, people will say some of the most unbelievably bigoted things because they think you'll agree with their bullshit. In school we were never really taught the atrocities perpetuated by the Confederacy. Sure, we learned about slaves and emancipation and that it was part of the Civil War. But we were told that the war was about states' rights, with slavery only being a part of it. There's still a vast number of people that will tell you that and that genuinely believe it. When I was old enough, my first tattoo was the flag. Because, heritage. I can honestly say that's what I believed. I am not and have never been racist. I despise racism. I was misguided, but everything I was taught and told my whole life. As I have grown older and began to really understand the meaning behind the flag and the reasoning for its renewed display, along with the many Confederate statues, I grew to realize that it wasn't something to be proud of or honor. Heritage has nothing to do with it. It's as much a symbol of hate as a swastika. I think a lot of people who grew up the way I did have never really taken the time to understand what it really means and how it makes people feel. They're as misguided as I was, but they won't educate themselves. The South is full of stubborn people that are stuck in their ways. Of course there's still plenty of racists out there proudly flying it to show their hatefulness. There's a ton of conservative, Southern Baptist white people who are willfully ignorant to it all. As for myself, I don't display the flag anymore and I've wanted that tattoo gone for years. It's getting covered with something else in a couple months. Goodbye and good riddance to the burden I've lived with for 20 years. I won't have to be ashamed to wear sleeveless shirts anymore. My old landlord has a Confederate flag bumper sticker on his truck right above a "Fuck Trump" sticker. Which is all the more weird because we lived on Vancouver Island in Canada. Old bikers are weird. Subscribe, my brothers.